Welcome to the Nikki Rich Show. Today we have an exciting show for you guys. I'm your host, Miss Nikki Rich, and we are broadcasting live out of sunny California. And I want to tell you guys, we have a featured guest. It's Super Bowl Sunday, but we had to bring on the hottest guest. Everybody know he is an actor, a model, entrepreneur, and a philanthropist. And y'all, you've seen him on TV and films, and the hit show Tyler Perry's Sistas on BET. So I'm excited to welcome our featured guest today, none other than Tiger Edwards. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Nikki. Thank you.
I'm so honored to have you. I tell you, since I've been in California, I've known you and you have been grinding,
Right.
and that's a long time, you know.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have been killing the game on all aspects. Like I say, you haven't just had one area, that you've been killing it. You've been doing it on all areas, and at the same time, giving back.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a blessed man. I'm a blessed man. I don't see where I can find the time to do a lot of things that I do. I'm just passionate about the things that I'm involved in. And, my whole philosophy has always been if it's not something that you love, why waste your time and do it? So everything that I do, I fully commit. And that's why I guess I'm so good at it. But thank you. That's a compliment coming from you.
Yes, most definitely. For those who don't know and they want to know a little bit more about you, you were born and raised in the south side of Chicago.
Yes.
A lot of talent come out of Chicago.
Yeah, some bad boys and gals come out of there. Yeah, we got Kanye, we got Common, we got just name a few. Not to mention just the hundreds that's in Hollywood that's really giving us some stuff. So yeah, man, I got my city on my back, and I just hope to be one of the best, or if not one of the greatest that come out of there as well.
Yes, you are. I mean, you making it happen. And not only that, I say, actor. I mean, that in itself, you killing the game.
Thank
You're in films. I mean, you on TV, I mean, you are making it happen. How does it feel? Because everybody can't do that.
you. Right.
This is what I tell people. You can come to Hollywood, but that don't mean you're going to make it.
That's true. That's true. It's a lot of people on Skid Row that
Mhm.
have the same dreams. Um, like I don't take no credit for it.
Mhm.
Very passionate about my craft, especially my acting. It was something that I've always wanted to get into. I didn't know what kind of segue I would use, but oftentimes you find a lot of models transitioning from modeling to acting. Especially if they've worked with like some big names. I was with Sean John at the time, Fubu, Carl Kanai, Banana Republic, and Kenneth Cole. So those were like top end, deals. So I got lucky, walked on Walker Texas Ranger many years ago. I'm not gonna say how long that was, and ever since, like that bug. I mean, really, it's a bug, and I've been going ever since. So what I'm doing right now, especially with Tyler Perry, is just a blessing. But I mean, great opportunity. Now I'm in front of a national audience, whereas people only knew me from the work that they saw me in or internationally. But now I'm a household name, so it's a little different. It hit a little different now.
Yes, and Tyler Perry is amazing. We had a chance to interview Tyler Perry here on the Nikki Rich Show, and I say he inspires us all, and to be able to work with him, how does that? I mean, that is truly amazing, and just to have Tyler Perry's name behind you, I mean, that is
Yeah,
so huge to me.
yeah, but it's also a huge responsibility too.
Okay.
I mean, this guy is the guy in Hollywood. So
Hmm.
I mean, his namesake speaks a lot. His track record, as far as his roster of projects, speaks for itself. And then it's a very high standard when you walk into his sets because he don't have all day to play with you. I mean,
Hmm.
people that he hires to do his shows have to be on point for the type of stories that he tells. So being ready at all times is something that I've learned from him. I've had a couple of conversations with him between season 1 and 2, and they were very, very short because I mean everything is so quick. But just what he stands for, what he means to the Black community as a Black artist in Hollywood that's doing the things that he's doing and opening so many doors. Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing, but it's also a very big responsibility because I don't want to disappoint a man like that. You know,
Exactly.
you
And
know.
just to know someone, higher up, that higher up, just believing in you, giving you this
Right.
opportunity is, just to be on that stage is amazing. But
Right.
also you as an actor,
Mhm.
you are amazing. That's why he's like, okay, I gotta get him.
Well, look, I
They
mean,
know.
let me give you a small story behind that, though. I was sitting in that casting office for about 7 years.
Wow.
I had been sitting in a pile. I had a good friend named Shalisa Searles. Shout out to Shalisa if you're watching. But she actually worked there, and every time she was there, she was like, she would go to Raven and Mike and say, "Yo, you look, see if you could put him in there. He fits. Get him down here. Get him." For 7 years. I mean, and with over that 7 year span, so many projects passed. And all of a sudden, my agent sent me on an audition. Shout out to Kim Coleman. And I thought it was just a 1 day project. Turned out it was a series. And I
Wow.
was like, wow. So again, they've always known who I was and what I can do. But I just really think that this project was just for me. All
Yeah.
those other ones were for other people. And I'm like, I could have did that. I could have been there. Or I could have played that. I mean, trust me, I'm at home like, this is what they doing. But it just wasn't my time. It wasn't my turn. So now I got my turn, and I'm showing my naturally black tail on TV as a lineman, and that's been interesting. So yeah, that's the story behind that. But I've been there for a while.
Yes. And
Mhm.
not only that, you got also a new film.
Yeah.
It's right behind you.
Right. Right. The ice cream stop. Yeah.
Ice cream. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Wow. 2021.
Mhm.
It's been a tough year. 2020. I'm sorry. 2020 was a tough year. Um, it was so many eye-opening things. We as a country was crippled by a pandemic that really made us dependent on the government, to a certain degree, because we can't even go outside our own homes. As it relates to my business, both personal training, because I have a studio in Pasadena,
Yeah.
and then especially Hollywood, it closed down. I was like, wow. So I'm like, how am I gonna make some money without having to go kill somebody? So here it is. So here it is. As you go through this journey, especially living in Hollywood and accumulating things and stuff. I mean, you got to keep that thing. You got to keep some type of income coming. And one thing that Tyler has taught me, or that he's shown and proven, was that you got to start somewhere, and you need to start investing in yourself. I'm telling all these great stories for other people, and I'm making them all this money. And I'm like, wow, here it is, a time where, I need somebody to call my phone and say, I got this job for you. Here, I got the perfect movie for you. But, as an artist, auditions is like, man, it's a rat race. It's a lot of no's, there's a lot of rejection. You can be good, but again, you just may not be good for that part. And be it political, physicality. So, I mean, again, you need work. You need work. So um, I got a phone call from a friend of mine, Raul Perez, that I've known for 10 years. And we met doing a Dorito spec commercial 10 years ago. And the guy was so cool. He was young, he was fiery, and he knew his stuff. And he called me out of the blue on one project that he had. And at the last minute, I was in, well, it was pretty much mine, but then some political happened, and then it went away. And I'm like, oh. And it was like, that was like the fourth call this year that I was, it's you got it. And then all of a sudden, at the 24th hour, they go a different direction. And that's crushing for an artist, especially it's like, yo, this is big. You already counting your money. You're already thinking about what you're going to do and
Mm-hmm.
all these things. You're making plans, and then they fall through. And I was bummed out, Nikki. I was so bummed out. And then he called me back, and he said, look, I got another story, and you would not believe it. And by this time, I'm like, man, whatever. Every time we try to do something, I always fall through. I was just done. And he said, no, my cousin had a dream. And, you know, he's a writer, but he's not a writer, but we can we can make this story. I'm like, all right, so send it over. So he sent it over to me. And at the time I had a couple of friends at the house, and still I'm in my feelings, you know, because I had a hard week and I'm trying to figure things out. And the scripts came across my printer. So I just grabbed them. I didn't even read it. I gave it to them. I said, look, just read this stuff. Let me know if it's even worth my time. Right. So about 30 minutes pass, and my first friend comes in and she's crying. And I'm like, what's going on with you? Right. And she was like, and I was like, okay. So I grabbed it. By the time I grabbed it, my other guy comes around the corner and he just shaking his hand, Ty, this is all you. This is all you.
Yeah.
So now I'm interested. I'm like, okay, what is it? What is it? And we've all heard those stories in Hollywood where it's like it's that one job that's made just for you, that one role, you know, that's made just for you. And Lord and behold, you know, I grabbed it and I read it, and I was like, wait a minute, you know, and everything about this character were actual things that I've lived and I've experienced, and those feelings just pulled at me, and I was crying and I was crying, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on, and I would read it again, Nikki, same reaction, and then I said, you know what, say no more, let's shoot it, and matter of fact, I'm gonna, you know, help develop the story, and I'm gonna produce it and put it out, and that's what I did. It's called Ice Cream Stop, and it's killing the festivals right now. So
Ice Cream Stop. I love it. I love it. And so we're gonna be in tears too.
yeah, it's a beautiful love story, Nikki.
Okay.
You know, I mean, right now we're in that age of Kevin Samuels. I call him my cousin. Kevin, you know, well, just relationships, black relationships in general. You know, you want to talk. I mean, we talk about the ideology of that king and that queen, and you making power moves and you building an empire, and a man who's really loving his woman and embracing him, and a woman that just loves her man, and just, I mean, it's a beautiful love story. And then life happens just like everything else, you know, and you never prepare for it. It doesn't care when it's going to hit you, but it does what it does, and it doesn't care how you feel and how do you react to that. So without giving away the movie, that's pretty much what it is. It's just a beautiful love story in life, as people, especially black people. It's about connection, you know, real love, relationships, just really looking at a man and looking at a woman and seeing them for who they really are. You know? And how it could feel when you have all that and you see that, and then life happens. How do you respond? So,
Yes. Man, I'm excited. You
yes,
know,
me too.
you got so much going on. Like you said, you know,
Yeah.
we ready for that. I'm ready.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think it's a piece that is so relevant to what's going on right now. And you know, I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but I get pulled over by some cops,
Yeah.
and it's just my story as a black man in America. You know, we have to go out with the fear of not ever returning home, or possibly not returning home. I I've been there. I've done that. You know, I was falsely accused for something that I didn't do, and I went to prison for it. You know what I'm saying? And they almost killed me in there. That's a lot of things that just happened out of the blue. I was just minding my own business, you know. So it's something that's very relevant. It should resonate within everybody. Everybody should be related, especially if you're in a relationship, you know, and if you have a person like that, and just dealing with today's times, you know. I mean, this 2020. I personally lost 8 people over the Black Lives Matter, all that stuff. Coronavirus, 14. You know, so and then even in the midst of shooting this, my colleagues, man, I mean, God, I mean, I love my people so much. The writer, Marcel, he lost his nephew right after he finished shooting, and then he lost his brother. You know, and then my other partner, you know, I dealt with so much death, and we used all that pain, and we used all that, and we mustered up and we finished. So I'm so proud of them for that, you know, because that could have been pretty much it for anybody. So you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, because you can get
Mhm.
into your feelings. But they used all that energy, and we made something amazing. I got an amazing cast. Nicola killed it. I just can't say it. I can talk all day about it. I know you got other questions, but I'm gonna shut up.
Yes. Well, we was talking on the aspect, of you acting and modeling, but I want to let everybody know you're an entrepreneur and a philanthropist as
Right.
well. Like you said, you own your own, body couture and fitness studio. Tell us a little bit about that
Okay.
and
Well,
how you're thriving
yeah.
during this, pandemic.
Right. Well, Body Couture Personal Fitness is my fitness studio located in Pasadena, California. I started that 2000, I want to say 10. So I've had it 10 years. And for those who don't know, I was a former two sport athlete before this, basketball and football, uh,
Wow.
semi-pro. So I was going places till I got shot. But I just pretty much used all of that and incorporated it into fitness.
Hmm.
One of my biggest claims to fame in opening that venture was the fact that I'm a culinary chef by trade. My dad was a professional chef.
What?
Yeah. So I grew up. I grew up with my father primarily, and so I know how to cook. And the biggest problem that most people struggle with is the food. 80% of it is what you eat.
It is.
You can exercise till you're blue in your face. You can do all the cardio, but if you're eating crappy, not eating the right foods, then that's where you're going to have problems. You're not going to physically look the way that you are training. So with that being said, I said, you know what? I'll start with the food. So before all this food prep and craze started going on, I was doing it already. I
Hmm.
was way ahead of the curve. I was cooking for a lot of my clients in house. So that's how I started, and then I started incorporating the trainer. I went to 24-hour fitness, and I was just the man, and people saw people's bodies changing. They didn't know I was cooking for them though. They just see me training, and so it was a combination of the two. And then one day, I guess God said, you know what, it's time for you to move on. And I got into an altercation with one of the higher ups at 24 over a schedule, and he told me, he said, well, you're hardly here, because at 24 at the time we had our own free schedule, and he said something crazy, and then he gave me an ultimatum: either you do this or you leave. I was making more money cooking for the clients than I was making at training at 24. I said, well, that's a no-brainer, so I just completely walked away and just started Body Couture Personal Fitness, and I've just been doing it ever since. So my slogan is, you don't have to be a model, celebrity, or actress to look like one. You know, I have a lot of affluent clientele, people of that caliber, but I got regular people too, and it's done really well. If you go to the website, www.bodycouture.org, you see my before and after pictures, you see my chef services, things of that nature. And I've been the best pass. I won the title best in Pasadena for weight loss and control for like 4 or 5 years in a row, consistently. And they were pretty much all my clients. Now I have, some trainers that help me and stuff like that. But I built a really, really good business just on doing that. So if you're in, so look, anytime you need me, baby, I'm here.
Yes, I need to be. Look,
Yeah.
I need somebody couture.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, and as far as philanthropy, um, I give to some charitable organizations, but what I give most is a lot of my time.
Yep.
I'm really, really big with the youth. I'm really, really big with homeless. I feed the homeless, but
Hmm.
I'm an inner city kid from Chicago. So I know how that urban life and how it is growing in a single parent home and growing up on the street and how it affects you. So I'm really, really big on going into platforms where I can actually speak and share my story, because a lot of kids can't identify. Kids are the biggest judge of character. You could put on a suit and talk all this other stuff, but it's
Yes,
just something about you that has to be genuine for you
that's
to talk to a person who's in a high risk situation. So when I walk in, I go in, just being myself, and they see the tattoos, they see, and I can talk on their level, and then I can talk, as they should. But that's where I find a lot of my joy in, as far as helping young men be better men. I got a godson this year, and amazing kid, and he was having so many problems and stuff, and just because he was around me, I mean, this guy had the actual nerve. He said, would you be my dad?
wow.
Right. And I mean, it completely blew me away and took me off guard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how can you tell him no? You
Mm.
know, obviously it's something that he saw in me that he wants. And when I asked him, I said, why out of all the people you can be asking, I mean, his father isn't around, isn't present, but I said, but out of all the people that you know, what is it about me? You know? And he was like, man, he said, I see how you work, I see how you look, I see how people respond to you, I see how you get up every day and you try to make us, you try to be a better person. And he said, I want that. He said, ain't you making money, you on TV and the women like you? And I was like, okay, that's enough. I said, that's enough. Okay, I get it. So and it's just very, very, I'm so grateful because when I was his age, it was like God was showing me a mirror, Nikki,
Mm-hmm.
saying, okay, you have the opportunity to help someone or be in a position that you wanted somebody when you was in that. Because I mean,
Yeah.
at 13, I was on the street, you know what I'm saying? And I was trying to figure life out. So I just said, you know what, I got you, man. And ever since then, his grades has went through the roof. And I mean, man, it's almost as if he's my own kid, you know? So
Wow, that's amazing.
yeah, yeah,
I love
cool.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that because I mentor a lot of people, young and old, but our youth, they the next one,
Right.
so we definitely have to pour into them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially
It's
the young
important.
men, man. Especially the young men, because the men are the cornerstones of, men are the foundation of the houses, And I think a lot of problems that we're having in our black homes, especially with this, the relationships and the single mother, is that the man is absent most of the time.
Mhm.
And why is he absent? You got to ask those questions. What's going on? You know,
Exactly.
and everybody wants to tell their story, but no one wants to tell the truth. So when he came to me and he asked me that, I was like, you know what? There's so many men who need guidance that don't have it.
Hmm.
And you have, one who don't have it and want it. And that's very uncommon right now. These millennials are a whole different beast. So at least with him, I get to pour in some the old fashioned traditions, the things that I was doing. I mean, I'll be 45 this year in a couple of days.
What? Are
Yeah,
you
yeah,
Aquarius?
yeah. I'm an Aquarian. Yeah. So I'll be
When your
45.
birthday?
The 16th.
Oh, my brothers. I got three brothers. They're Aquarius. One is the 15th. One was the 5th and the 23rd.
Wow. Okay. All right. All right. Okay.
Oh, Aquarius. It's
Okay.
Aquarius.
So are you into astrology? I'm not, but I
I
mean,
am.
so how would you say an Aquarius? I mean, what's your being that
Off the
your three brothers
chain.
are Aquarian? but
Off the chain.
we
They
real
off the
though, right?
chain. Now I think Aquarius. I always see Aquarius as lovers and stubborn.
I
That's
could be
just what I see. I just always see them as lovers for real, and
right.
and stubborn.
Right. Well, wrong
I'm a
question.
Cancer. You know,
Okay. Okay. I don't think I've dated any cancers. Have I?
no, because I don't
No.
think Aquarius and Cancers mix.
Well, again, I'm not really into that astrology to where compatibility is aligned. I don't know. It could be, but I
I
right
love
now at 45 is definitely a vibe. I gotta,
45.
yeah, it
We
gotta be a
look
vibe.
40. I'll be 42 this year.
Oh, girl, you looking good. You holding it down.
45 is good. You healthy. You look good. Your business is good. You going into 45 like this is how it should be.
Yeah, yeah, but it took a lot to get here. I mean, you
Yeah.
talking to a kid, you talking to somebody on the southeast side of Chicago growing up in the 80s, Nick. I was an 80s kid
Yeah.
where I mean the crack era, and then you had the gangs really, really bad. I didn't think I was gonna live to see 18, let alone 45.
I know.
So unlike most people who want to keep quiet about their age, I am happy to proclaim
Thank you.
45 because there's a lot of people ain't here. You know what I mean?
Some ain't still making it.
Well,
Like
exactly.
y'all
Right.
better y'all while y'all hiding your age, you better be blessed.
Exactly. And
That
then
we
not to look like your story, that's even a bigger blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been through some things, and not look like the hell you've been through. Yeah, I'm very, very proud. I'm very proud.
yeah, and you look good. You always I'm telling you, you always look good. You, we don't look like what we've been through. We,
Right.
we don't try to, and that's good. That's
Right.
okay. You ain't gotta look like what you've been through.
Right. And especially in your case, I see you on your I see you get up, you have to go get your blood. And I'm like, my girl keep a smile on her face, she keep her face beads, she's still working it. Where a lot of people would take that and say, look, this is something I gotta go through every day and give themselves an excuse to tap out. So I just want to say I thank you and I'm so proud of you, Will. And I've always been in the times that you post on social media, you hear me, I'd be like, girl, look, the game needs you. You need to get it together. Come on out of there, girl. And I'm proud of you, Nikki. I know it's hard, and anything I can do to help you in that particular area as far as health, you got me. I'm a phone call away.
Yes, yes, and I appreciate you. Like, and you inspire us all. That's why I say we have to get him on because, like, I know I seen you, for many years being on the red carpets, and
Mhm.
you just be grinding. You've been working. It's like nothing is being handed to you. You know what
No,
I'm saying? That's what I definitely want the people to know. They see the big lights and the people that you're working with, but just know it didn't just start today.
right, right.
You've
This
been doing this.
Yeah, this is like 25 years for me.
Yes.
So when people who are just not seeing me, overnight success, especially with the Tyler Perry season 3. Okay, we got renewed, thank God. But outside of that, then the movie. I mean, the movie is doing extremely well in the festivals, and no doubt it'll probably sweep a few. And then all of a sudden, this overnight sensation. No,
Yes.
no, that's not overnight. I've been doing this a long time. I just finally got my break, in that respective field or whatever it was I was doing. This is not easy. I would tell anybody who is thinking about becoming an entertainer, a professional one at least. You can entertain, but you may not be a professional one. There's a lot of actors and actresses out here, but you're not working. So that's the difference. A working actor and actress, but it's a lot of rejection, and I kind of guess I got softened up for it, or modeling prepared me for it, because as a model you get rejected a lot.
Oh
you know
yeah.
you go to those cattle calls, and they're looking at your skin, your height, and all those other things, and if you make the cut, you know you're golden. So that prepared me for a lot of Hollywood.
It
Uh,
is.
so no, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy. If you're passionate about it, I believe with your passion you can accomplish anything, but it's still going to be a journey until you get to that top. So I'm just a blessed man. I take it day by day. I keep my head down. I try not to say too much, and I just stay humble.
Yes. Well,
Mhm.
I'm so excited for you. Now, what I would say, message would you give to anybody out there that's, wanting to get into the entertainment industry and,
Mhm.
pursue, but like you said, professionally, not just
Mhm.
like, hey, I'm doing this,
Right.
but who are
Like,
really wanting to pursue this craft.
well, look, I mean, you know what? Right now, we're living in the age of social media, so you can kind of strike gold depending on how you approach things.
Yep.
It's a lot of people that you will probably never know about had it not been for social media.
Mhm.
I'm not knocking social media at all, but if you're trying to be a professional, I want you to be realistic about your goals. Have a plan. Know your market, you know, uh, and be true to yourself. Know what you're good at. Know where you fit. A lot of us come into the expectations doing things or trying to say, well, I'm Beyonce, and girl, you ain't Beyonce. You know, I mean, again, you have to be realistic. Once you catch hold of something, then maybe you can transition over into other things. But you have to be realistic. Always be prepared and be ready. You know, take it seriously. This is a job. I know people who get auditions and don't go, or they get auditions and they're not prepared. I mean, this is really really work. You have to be passionate about it. If you're doing it for money, you're already doing it for the wrong thing.
The
You
wrong
know,
thing.
the wrong thing. If you're money motivated, trying to come to the industry thinking, you're going to be disappointed. This is very much a labor of love. It's a passion. And the better you are at your craft is what's going to determine how much coin you get. you know. So
Yeah.
I tell people to focus on the work. Focus on the work. If you're a model, again, be realistic.
Hmm.
One thing about social media is that again, it opens up another avenue for those type of possibilities for people who want to pursue that. I tell people all the time, and people, I don't throw the word model around loosely because I've been on real runways. I've been with
Yes.
big people, you know what I'm saying? That's modeling. It's a difference between modeling, doing campaigns and stuff like that, opposed to being on social media taking a good picture. It's a difference. You take good pictures, boo. You're
Thank
not a model. You know, the models go through a lot of scrutiny to
you.
do and to make the kind of money they get judged. I mean, this stuff that you got, curvy, thick girl, please. So again, I meet people all the time saying, how can I break into that? And I'm like, baby, based on what I see, based on what I know they're looking for, this is not it. You can do it, or yeah, but this is not your lane. I'm gonna
Hmm.
be realistic. You're more this or you're more that. You have to just be realistic about it. And then once you're realistic again, I think, and you plan and you execute, I think you be. I think the chances of you grabbing a hold to something is better. It's a lot of people that
Yeah.
that unpack and then just come down here and don't and just be wanderers. I'm like, have you got a headshot? No. You got a resume? No. Got a comp card?
Comp
No.
card. Yep.
Well, what you doing? You're not serious. A person that's serious, make sure they have all their ducks in a row. And
Yeah.
then I'm sure you get the questions. Well, how do I get a manager, or how do I get an agent? Well, you got to have something to manage it. You have to have something to manage.
Thank you.
You know, Again, unrealistic expectations. So that's what I would give. If you're passionate about it, you do the research, you do the work, be good at the work, the money will come.
It will come. It
It
will
will come.
come.
Mhm.
Well, I want to thank you for being our guest today. Now,
Yeah.
tell us where they can find you, on social media and connect and your website.
Yeah, social media. I'm on IG, official Ty Edwards. Ty is spelled Thai. I'm on Facebook, Ty the Tiger,
Hmm.
and my website is tyedwards.com. And if you're looking for personal training, if you're in the SoCal area, you can reach me at www.bodycouture.org. So, mhm,
www.bodycouture.org. Well,
mhm.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being with us. And if you could just hold tight just for a few, in the
Mhm.
queue. And I thank you for being our guest today.
All right, and yo, go see the ice cream stop. It'll be the
Ice
best
cream
movie of
stop.
2021. Believe that.
Yes, thank you so much. And, shout out to everybody that is watching right now. Thank you so much. I want to, definitely thank the sponsors here at the Nikki Rich Show. We got sons of our daughters, sons and daughters, here, Virtue Outreach Ministry, Miss Mary Angel. You can go there and check her out. 6830 West Village, Milwaukee. And you can go Wisconsin 53218. Follow at Mary Angel 1019
Yep.
on
Real stuff.
on Instagram as well as Mary Angel on Facebook. So thank you so much to our sponsors. And thank you guys for watching the Nikki Rich Show. Make sure you follow us at Nikki Rich Show TV and go to the NikkiRichShow.com, our official website. We got some amazing upcoming interviews, so stay tuned and make sure y'all subscribe. Nikki Rich, the number 2. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching.